And welcome back to the Murdy Creative Co podcast. I'm your host, Kyle and Murdy, and today's topic is momentum. But first, I want to say thank you to everyone who's supported the company so far. If you haven't got a chance, go check us out on the web at murdycreative.co. That's M-U-R-D-Y creative.co. You can also find all of our social media accounts at the link at the top of the website. Be sure to join our Discord. The server link is in the top of the description below on YouTube, and also at the top of the website on our or in the link at the top of the website, so that you can be updated on latest announcements and all sorts of cool things. So go check that out. And if you're looking to buy product, that's the place to do it. Not Discord, on our website. Anyway, this is an exciting time for us. This is the first month. We just finished February, and that month was the first month that we really had what I would describe as a solidly successful, profitable, productive month. We had no stock outages. We had a pretty decent labor setup, but I'll get into that later because that is the big problem. And our marketing has been working extraordinarily well. Now, it's, like I said, impossible to really analyze whether it's related to the fact that the folders are new and exciting, and so we're getting old customers to come back. We are, but whether that's the biggest portion of this is hard to tell. Or whether we're seeing a bunch of new customers who have been on our email list for a while, and suddenly this is a product that's attractive to them. Or whether we have people on our email list that are getting some of our automated emails that are finally becoming the decision, they're making the decision. Or whether we're seeing a problem or a situation where we're seeing the marketing efforts that we're making on our website with our pop-ups are actually converting better. So it's hard to sort out perhaps what of these, this is causing the success. And actually, I think it is probably more arguably an amalgamation of all of them, right there. It's a little bit of everything. And this goes back to the whole idea that we don't need to make a massive big play. We need to make a little bit of improvement across the board in every area, and that as an amalgam creates a more successful company. And for us, the success tangibly looks something like a conversion rate going from 1.7, 1.8, which is where it's about normally, to last month after we instituted the change on our pop-up, it went up to 2.2%, and it's pretty much been stable at that point. So that's an exciting change just right there, right? That, I mean, if you're looking at the numbers, people go, well, what does the conversion rate mean? For those of you who don't know what conversion rate really means, it's the number of people that come to your website and convert. So actually, technically, the definition is the number of sales divided by the number of visitors or sessions, depending on how you devise it. But we've had relatively stable traffic to our website. It's a little bit on the lower side historically. I mean, historically, we've had more visitors to our website by about a factor of maybe an additional 30 to 40%. So we're down on our traffic a lot, I should say, actually, but it's stable at that rate. And that's actually an easier number than any of the others to boost up, right? Because I can boost our genuine traffic to the website by spending more on advertising. That's an easy number to change. That's a couple of clicks on my website, and all of a sudden Facebook is sending out more of my ads to more people, and we're getting more traffic. So it's not so much that that's an important one. What's important is that how many of those people that are coming are converting. Because if we can get a higher conversion rate, that means that more people are buying out of the same number of visitors. That's excellent. Our AOV is up, which I actually was very concerned that our AOV, average order value, was going to go down with the launch of the folders. And the reason why is very simple. The folders, you can buy a file folder with no label, or I should say no engraving on your label, for $59 on our website. That's significantly lower than our normal average order value. So I thought perhaps when we launched this, if a lot of people just bought one folder and nothing else at the cheapest they could buy it would plummet our AOV. And if you're looking at the numbers and you say, okay, the conversion rate is up, but the average order value is down, then the net amount of dollars in sales is lower, if that makes sense, right? So you're having more people convert, but they're spending less money. So the net result is the same or negative, right? So I was very concerned that our AOV was going to plummet when we launched the product, but because I think it's the tiered ladder system, because you can buy one of these for 50, 60 or $70, but you can buy three of them for $129, $159, depending on what you get, and you can buy the three of them plus the the holder for them for the admin bundle for $199 or $229, depending on what color you get. That's excellent, right? That's an excellent deal. And so I think people are walking their way up that chain and getting the more expensive products because our AOV is actually up. And I've been in making the last couple of weeks. I've been doing making most of the days, and there's a lot of admin bundles coming through, which is exciting. Now, whether there's more admin bundles coming through because we're actually promoting them is a question that's a reasonable question, right? They're on the main page of the website at the very top. They're in prime position. So is it that they're succeeding because they're there, or is it because they're succeeding because they're actually the deal that people want from bundles perspective? Hard to know. Either way, it is exciting to see this momentum happen. And it has led to problems, of course, because nothing can ever just go perfectly, not in this world at least. And so here we are, solving a different problem. And it's actually not that new of a problem, right? Production has always been a challenge, and balancing production and sales is always the challenge, because during Christmas, as an example, we have all of the sales in the world and we are always behind in production. And then during the rest of the year, we're always behind in sales and we're always got way too much production. Well, right now we're doing numbers that are, from a production standpoint, look closer to Christmas than our other numbers you normally do then. So that's exciting, but it means that we are behind and we are not catching up very well. Now, there has been some concern, and I am one of those people that's been concerned, but there has been some concern amongst the team that they're worried that we might not be able to catch up with just the four of us. And I think that's a reasonable concern. However, I don't think it's true. If you look at the raw numbers of the items that are coming in every day in orders and the number of items that we as a team can produce output when we're at the full staff, full strength and everything, we should be able to handle this number pretty easily. Actually, I think technically 3 people should be able to handle this number that are of what's coming in. However, over the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks, I don't think we've had a single day where everyone has been here. And there's always been one thing. I was sick last week. We had different team members that were out on, we had a wedding, a vacation, which is totally fine. I want to encourage that to happen. That's a good thing for people to go on vacation. It helps them regenerate and feel better. And we had somebody who was out for surgery, right? So we've had this situation where there's just not been all of us here doing the whole thing. So I actually am not disheartened by the lack of being caught up, because I don't think it's a result of us not being able to catch up as a whole. I think it's that we haven't had the team at full strength. And so it's been, half of the people at any given day doing the production, and there really needs to be 3, not 2. So all things considered, I am excited for the next coming up week here, because this next week will be a week that we will have everybody here. All 5 days, everyone will be in the workshop. I'm hoping that we can use that time to get back to caught up, and I think it'll be a lot easier to stay caught up. Because one of the things I was talking about with Meryl the other day is that there's really 3 elements of weight that we carry. There's the physical stress, physical exhaustion that comes in with the actual task of folding these products and making them by hand. It is taxing physically to do it. There's the mental stress, mental strain of having to make the many, many decisions that we have to make every day. And there's a lot of decisions that need to be made every day. And then there's the third element, which is the emotional strain. Now, I think when we're caught up, we can handle the mental and the physical strain modestly, pretty well. I think we handled that pretty well. And we are working on creating tools to help solve some of the decision making and have that be automated so that we don't need to, so that takes a little load off the mental strain there, right? So we are working on making tools to improve that. And I think those 2 elements under normal circumstances, when we're caught up, we can really handle those. But the problem is that when we are this far behind, and we are behind, the emotional element comes into it a lot, because kind of a sense of panic starts to set in, and a worry that we're not going to be able to get caught up. And then the emotional weight of knowing that we've got all these orders that we are backlogged on. I think that emotional weight is what takes an otherwise manageable amount of mental and physical stress and turns it into it just wears everyone. It turns into an unmanageable amount of stress. It makes everyone every day get just that much less efficient, right? Because they just feel worn down and tired and worried. So for me, I think success begets success. And I think that's true of the sales. I think I think this is a momentum situation, that the company is getting that momentum we need to really hammer forward, and we are going to continue to push on that momentum. And I don't want to see in a situation where we are so busy with production that we can't continue to do the marketing things that are making us this successful, right? It is a bit of a balance. And I'm working on saying, how can we work on setting up a situation so that we can get caught up and then we can stay caught up so that we can reduce that emotional stress. Plus, as a side benefit, when we actually get caught up and we are caught up, like I said, I think 3 people can handle the number of items that are coming in every day in sales. I think if those 3 people can handle it, that leaves 1 person to do additional projects, to work on those things that allow for us to have that better automated decision making and have all of the tools that we need built out, and to do some of the improvements to the workshop that we've been wanting to do from a speed and efficiency standpoint. We've been doing a lot of changes, and the workshop has just been, it's been stagnant. So we haven't been able to say, okay, for example, the file folders, we don't have a place on a shelf to put them. We've kind of had to fake one out because we don't have a formal spot that they go when they're cut out. Right. So little things like that, they do slow down our production because they're just not efficient. So by having some of those efficiencies gained in organizing that, I think we will see an improvement in our overall numbers coming out. So I'm excited about this. I really am. And I do think that we can continue this. And I think that we need to be able to see the forest through the trees, right? We can't get so bogged down in the day-to-day of how many items do I need to make today? We need to think about it in a broader perspective of, okay, how many items as a whole do we need to make collectively over the course of this week? And what does that look like on any given day? And how do we break that down? And how do we realize that that's not so bad? And then also a big part of this that has been a real challenge physically for the team is the file folders have become our best-selling product by a lot. Like, it's not close. And that's a huge deal. Because the thing about the file folders is they have a fold in them. And this fold is actually very challenging to put into the leather that's this thick. It's very thick leather. So to fold it with bone folding is physically demanding. It is exhausting. So I've been working on trying to figure out how to improve our tools, build new machines, figure things out to be able to make that a much more efficient process. And I think we can do it. But so there is an element of this new product is creating novel problems as well. And we need to be able to address those and work on solving those. So there's a lot of new going on. And I don't think anybody in my team, including me, expected February to be an amazing month. That is never a good month for us. April, maybe. April's a good month for us normally. And I think it's because everyone gets their tax money back and they start to spend it on things that they wanted for a long time. So April's always a good month for us. February is almost never a good month for us. So to have February be as good as it was is exciting. It bodes well for a good future. And it really paints a nice rosy picture for us. And I'm very happy with where it's at. We just got to get that production piece figured out. And I think we will. So I'm excited. If you're out there and you bought something in the last month, if you bought something in February and you're watching the podcast, please comment below on YouTube or send us an email if you'd like and tell us what triggered you to buy. Like, what was the thing that got you over the finish line? Was it the fact that there was a new product? Was it that there was an email that you saw that you were like, all right. And there was a specific email that got your attention? And if it did, if you can verbalize why it caught your attention, tell us, because obviously that's good to know, right? And sometimes you don't know, right? Sometimes you're like, I don't know, that email just sparked my creativity. I liked it, right? It's hard to sometimes verbalize why we do things. But if there was an email that you saw that triggered it, if there was a text message, if there was something about the website, if there was whatever it is, if there was something that caused you to buy that you can think of, tell us. We are desperately trying to figure out what was the success, what were the elements of success in February, and which of the 5 or 10 that we've been working on was the most important. Because obviously when you're trying to evaluate efficiencies and you're trying to evaluate how to improve sales at better cost rates, because that's always the goal, figuring out what of the tools that we deployed had the most effect allows us to say, well, we need to devote more resources to that because we can get more bang for our buck out of devoting resources to that than to something that didn't really have any effect and we didn't know. So please tell us about it. We want to hear from you. Mention in the comments below. I really do want to know. And I appreciate all of you who've been watching the podcast and who've been supporting the company so far. It has been a huge, huge blessing for me and my family and for all the people that work here. And I hope it has been a blessing for you who have bought our products and used them. Thank you guys for tuning in today. Be sure to check back in next week to Thursday for the next podcast. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button as well as the notification bell to get notified of new podcast launches. Obviously, we are here to help if you've got any questions or concerns. You reach out to us via the website. You can give us a phone call, 414-434-9001. You can send us a text message at that number as well, 414-434-9001. We're available Monday through Friday, 8 a.m., 4 p.m. Central Time, and we would love to help you. We are here to help. Any question, we're here. So reach out to us. If you have any problems, we want you to be happy, right? So if you get your product and you're like, I don't like this about it, reach out to us. We'd be happy to help. If you think we deserve it, a good review can go a long way to help us grow. You can leave that good review for us if you go to murdycreative.co/review. That will take you to the website that we are currently using to lodge our reviews. And the reason I say the website we're currently using is sometimes we change it. We've been trying to split our reviews between Facebook and Google because we've been trying to improve both our Facebook advertising performance as well as our Google SEO positioning. So sometimes we kind of direct people to leave their reviews in different places. You are welcome to leave your review on both. That definitely helps. So definitely go check that out, murdycreative.co/review to leave us a nice review. You can also read all of our great reviews on murdycreative.co/reviews with plural. That you can read all of them. We really appreciate that. Word of mouth is the best form of advertising. Tell your friends about it. We have a rewards program that just gets better and better. We've introduced some new and exciting things in our rewards program where you can get free product instead of using your points on discount codes. And they're actually a better deal if you get it that way. So go check that out. Bottom of the website, bottom left-hand corner, there's the rewards panel. And you can go read that, check that out, sign up, log in, all good things. Share it with your friends. If you have podcast topics you want to hear more about, send them my way. I'm always looking for things to talk about, and I appreciate you guys' input. If you're looking for multiple items, journals, folios, anything, folders, for gifts, giveaways, menus, really any reason, we do have bulk discounts available. They are built directly into the cart, so all you need to do is add whatever you'd like to your cart. You can mix and match. It doesn't matter. All it is based off of is the total cart quantity at the end. So once you finish doing that, you add everything to your cart. You hit checkout. It'll auto-apply the appropriate discount for the quantity that it detects in the cart. And it should be able to go. That starts at a minimum of 5 items. So you don't even have to go that far to get a bulk discount, at least a little bit. So if you'd like to know more about that program as well, you can also send us an email, sales@murdycreative.co. We have our customizer tool built into almost every product on the website, and we are working to expand that when we have more time. And the goal is to be able to have that on every product before the end of the year, of course. Hopefully a lot sooner than that. But for most of the products, if you go to them, you'll see a little blue Add Custom Engraving button. When you click on that, it'll take you to the custom version of that product. From there, you can select what you'd like, and then you can hit add custom logo, and it'll launch the customizer tool. I recommend you do this on desktop. You can do it on mobile. It does work on mobile. It is terrible to do on mobile, and mostly because it's a very small screen. So trying to customize a product that is as large as a piece of paper on a screen the size of a Post-it note is really difficult. So definitely go check that out on your desktop. There is no minimum order quantities and no setup fees. You can just get one, right? So you can open up that customizer, you can upload your logo, you can reposition it, rotate it, resize, all those good things. Hit add to cart. It'll automatically add the appropriate cost for that, which is normally about $15 per item. Maybe it can be a little more if it's a really big engraving. But once you add that to your cart, if you'd like to change the quantity, right? If you're doing this for a company, you want to get 20 of them, just edit one, go to your cart, change the quantity to 20, hit checkout. It'll auto-apply the bulk discount. You can go right then and there, or you can just get the one. So go check that out. If you have any questions or concerns or issues, I should say technical difficulties with that, feel free to send us an email, sales@murdycreative.co, sales@murdycreative.co, and we would be happy to help. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have a great day, and goodbye.